Good morning, everybody. This is Dr. Shalona McFarland, and today is January 17th, I think. I think that's right. At any rate, it is Saturday here, and today I am going to discuss healthy eating habits. So this is one that I've hit on a little bit through the videos, but I'm going to go into a little bit more detail today. So I do a combination of paleo and plant paradox. It's a little trickier to do here in the Philippines where I live, but it's still doable. So paleo is the Paleolithic diet. So the paleontologists have studied bones for decades, and they have discovered that the pre-plant man, so pre-agriculture, pre-planting, the true hunter-gatherers, the bones from that era, they were healthier, they had longer lives, they had better infant or lower infant mortality rates, so more of their babies survived. Their teeth were better, their bones were stronger than the post-agriculture, the planting guys. Hi, Chuck. That their bones were weaker. They were more prone to osteoporosis. They died younger. They had a higher infant mortality rate. They were prone to more fractures. Okay, so they developed this eating plan that basically the Paleolithic man had. They were fruits, vegetables, meats, and nuts. They were hunter-gatherers. So if they couldn't hunt it and couldn't gather it, they didn't eat it. Okay? Which means hunting and gathering both require movement, exercise. So that was a big piece of Paleolithic man, was movement. We are designed to be in motion, not to be static all the time. So if you have to hunt and gather your food and have to work at it a little bit at least, then you are actually helping your body to move and to think and to be in motion. So that means basically no grains, no dairy, no corn, no soy, and no legumes. And of course, limited to little to no sugar. Okay? So most people think, oh my gosh, I can't do that. I live on rice or I live on pasta or whatever. Well, there's other options besides that. Quinoa is okay. It's still a grain, but it's not as bad a toxic a grain. You can also do like riced broccoli or riced cauliflower, and that actually works really well for pastas. You can do zucchini, and that works really well as well also. As far as dairy, there are lots of substitutes. I usually go for the coconut milk, but you can also do almond milk. The oat milk I don't recommend so much because it's oats. It's still from a grain. Rice milk is still from a grain. Still better than cow's milk, but you also have a little bit of a sugar tip to it as well. As far as corn and soy, basically corn, soy, grains, those are the three most highly genetically modified foods on earth. So if you can avoid genetically modified foods, you probably should. Okay? The other part to eating healthy or healthier, Mediterranean is a great way of looking at food, and it's essentially the same. You have a little bit of cheese in there, but mozzarella cheese or feta cheese isn't that bad as long as you're not eating it constantly. But I do like to combine the paleo with plant paradox. Plant Paradox is a book written by Dr. Stephen Gundry that tells you which fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds to eat and which ones to avoid. And when I combined those two and really got steady with it, that made a huge difference. I dropped 20 pounds in 6 weeks. And so that is really a good way of eating. Plant Paradox does have you eventually introduce grains back into your eating habits. I chose not to do that because I felt so good. And anytime I eat bread, my knees kill me. They tell me about it. So that's my body's way of saying, hey, don't eat that stuff. So learn to listen to your body. And the other part of it is water. You need to drink a ton of water every day. And water mixed with coffee or mixed with tea or mixed with pop, that's not water. Those are things that dehydrate the body. So as much water as possible. Plant Paradox also does intermittent fasting, and intermittent fasting is great. I fast every day, so my eating time window is generally 10 a.m. to noon to 6 p.m. So basically 10 to 6. That's my eating window. I don't eat outside of that generally. I drink a lot of water. I will have one coffee in the morning, but the coffee I drink is like a collagen-based, has chia seeds in it with a little bit of caffeine, and that works great for me. And I try to only do 1 cup a day, and then the rest of the time I'm drinking water, and that's it. So those are things to think about and to consider. Let me see, what else was there? So I know, like, legumes are beans, just so you know. Peanuts are not nuts, they're a legume. Cashews are not nuts, they're a fruit. So those two are off the eating list. You can do, so nuts would be pecans, walnuts, almonds, Brazil nuts, pistachios, all of those are fine. Those are all actual nuts, and they're fine. So you'll notice that people who are allergic to nuts can still eat peanuts because they're not a nut. Or vice versa, people who are allergic to peanuts can eat nuts because, again, peanuts are not nuts. And so, people who are allergic to peanuts will also be way more sensitive to legumes in general. So beans, okay? So fruits, vegetables, meats, nuts. If you're going to do the meats, as long as it's free range, grass-fed, grass-finished, that's the best meat you're going to get. And I know sometimes that's tricky to find, but it's doable. And cow's milk is for cows. So we're the only species on Earth that consumes milk past infancy. And we're the only species on Earth that consumes another species' hormone dispensary system, because that's what milk is. That is a hormone dispensary system, and it is designed to grow babies. If you're not a baby, perhaps you should think about not eating baby food. Okay? All right, so there are some things to think about. Again, Mediterranean diet is really good as well. And again, fruits, vegetables, meats, and nuts. And that's pretty much it. Fresh is the way to go. If it's in a box, probably shouldn't eat it. Just saying. Okay? Alrighty, guys. Hopefully that gives you something to think about for eating habits and healthy eating. There's always a healthy choice. It may not be the healthiest, but there is also a healthier choice. Okay, even at McDog Food, they do have salads. I don't trust them there, but they do have salads. So there is that aspect that you can do. Okay? Alrighty, guys. God bless. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.